Good morning, and welcome to Wonder Series Wednesday. It's great to be here. It's great to have you with us. I'm Denise Stegall. I am the CEO and curator at Living Healthy List. And of course, I'm your host for the Wonder Series. So if you're new to the Wonder Series, what the heck am I talking about? The Wonder Series is a weekly forum right here on Facebook where we answer the questions that, well, you've been wondering about and maybe just never thought to ask. Every month, we focus in on a particular topic in the areas of health, wellness, personal development, and fun, because yes, living a healthy, happy life means having fun too. And then each Wednesday, I invite a different guest expert to answer those questions, share their tips and strategies, those things that you can use right away and incorporate into your life so you can create that healthy, happy lifestyle that works for you. So February, we're asking the question, are you an SOB? No, wait a minute. It's not what you think. Are you strong, open-minded, and a brave woman? So I'm really excited to have my special guest today. This is my friend, LuAnn Buechler. LuAnn is known as the Little Spark, and you will see in a few minutes that she truly is a spark. She's one of those women who walks into the room, brightens it up, and always makes everybody smile. And what else does she do? She does a lot more than that. She truly helps people to break through change in their business and personally. She's the owner of PMC Events and Coaching. She's also a transformational coach, certified facilitator of the Passion Test and Passion Test for Business. She's also a professional speaker, and she's great at that. She's a trainer and event facilitator. There's more. LuAnn is also the co-author of the book Exceptional Care for Your Valued Clients and her own book called My Journey as a Hugger. LuAnn, welcome. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Denise. Thanks for that beautiful introduction. I appreciate it.
Oh, come on.
Always great to be on the Wonder Series.
Thank you. We are talking today about being successful and open-minded and brave. And I'd like to ask you, what about your journey about becoming that person, that brave person, that open-minded person, and that strong person that you are?
Where does one begin? That's a big question.
It's a big question.
And I think it varies in different stages of your life. Probably when I was younger, I thought about being strong as physically strong. I was a gymnast, believe it or not, when I was in high school. And so I would think of that. And even in my journeys now to the boundary waters, right, there's a physical strength that's required. But I think of perseverance when I think of strength as well. And so if I look back at all that I have persevered through in life, then you see a different kind of strength that you acknowledge. Open-minded, I like to believe I was always open-minded, and more so now than ever. The older I get, the more I know I don't know. And I need to be open to the possibilities of what is it out there. I heard a presenter last week in a transformational conference, and he said, everything I'm about to tell you, I believe and I don't believe, because I really don't know the absolute truth. Well, that was very interesting, opened my mind to a thought that, gosh, none of us really know the absolute truth. We're living our story, we're living our truth, and there takes strength and courage to do that.
Yes, it does.
So it brings that. So I love to be open to other people's ideas, and have been practicing in recent years, avoiding the need to be right.
Yes.
If we can avoid the need to be right about anything, because truly we have no absolute truth. We don't. And so all that it does when I decide I'm right and you're wrong is create separation and anger and arguments. And boy, can we see that in our world today, right?
Absolutely. Such conflict. And you're right. You're right. It's about somebody having to be right all the time.
Yeah. And so stop the need to be right, be open-minded to other people's perspectives, and life is easier. and more loving. And I truly believe that's the direction, that's the lessons we're being taught in these circumstances. It'll get worse before it gets better,
Mhm.
but the ability to be open minded to other people's perceptions, perspectives, and be able to say, we can agree to disagree, and how do we move forward anyway together? That's what being a United States of
Mhm.
America means to me, you
Mhm.
know. And so it's a challenge in these times because people want to pick a fight. They want to get into the debate, into the argument, and I people get mad at me because I refuse to
I'm
pick
with
a
you. I think
side.
it's the lesser of the evils. Getting into the conversation, whether you go into it with an open mind or not, there's always going to be a sore topic. And all of a sudden, you go in with an open mind, but then your back is up. And that just causes so much more stress and strain. And like you said, without that, life is a lot simpler. I mean, it doesn't always have to be a fight or an argument. It could be, like you said, just agree to disagree.
And
And
let's put a spin on that from the living healthy list, and
Mhm.
we're talking about living healthy all the time, right? What does that do? It causes stress. You just said that.
Mhm.
Again, last week I heard the statistic that 90% of all doctor visits are based ultimately back in stress.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Yep,
We can
doctor
heal
visits.
ourselves by stepping out of stress
Yep.
and into peace and joy,
Mhm.
mindfulness, all that good stuff that we talk
Absolutely. I
about
mean,
here.
it's very true. Stress, people don't think of stress and disease, how they go together. They think they're very separate, but they're not. The what you bring into your body. We talk about, eat real food and nourishing your body, but nourishing your body is much more than, what you're eating. It really is about that mindfulness and that nourishing your soul, whatever that means to you, whether it's meditating or doing yoga, which I'm getting a little bit better at. I'm kind
Good.
of proud of myself. But it really does, all of these things come together. And unfortunately, if we have so much stress, they do culminate into, so many more negative health issues.
Oh, absolutely, right?
Hmm.
Physical health issues, mental health issues, right? Leading us into depression, which we all know is the epidemic, perhaps even a pandemic in
Right.
our world
Especially right
today,
now.
especially right now that people are falling prey to heavy depression.
Hmm.
The longer this thing goes on, and that's so unfortunate. We can choose joy.
Hmm.
We can choose to live in joy and peace and put ourselves in that place. We have the power to do that, and that will
Hmm.
help us to stay healthy. And it's such a happier place to live,
Hmm.
right, than in those disagreements, battles,
Right.
stress, etc. One of the other reminders I got just last week is about getting into nature and how much we are energetically manufactured to need nature and to infuse that energy, and every piece of nature has its place on the planet to help the energetic positivity of our world, right? Everybody has their own job, every tree, every plant,
Hmm.
etc., right? And we have turned in a lot of ways, a lot of people have turned to nature as their outlet during this time because as human beings, we can't stand to be locked up in one place,
Right.
right? And so
Hmm.
people are getting out. So I look at everything that's been happening in 2020 and will probably still be happening in 2021 as what are the lessons we're being taught? What
Hmm.
is the universe teaching us that we need to know? It's kind of like the proverbial 2x4 up beside your head, like, hey, wake up, people,
Hmm.
right? We've become so much more in tune with our families because we were locked up in the house with them. And that family unit to me appears to be getting stronger because of it. Has it been a challenge? Of course. Anything good having is,
Right.
right? Getting back out into nature, which people used to just sit on their couches or busy, or
Hmm.
shopping or this or that inside buildings. And now they're going out so much more into nature. All these good things.
Interesting that you'd mentioned that. Dr. Michael Greger, who I follow, I've met him several times. I've interviewed him here for Living Healthy List. He recently came out with his weekly video, and it actually is about being in nature. I want to call it forest bathing, he calls it. That's the phrase I've heard. And so these are things that, I mean, the people from, the top down are saying, get out, go enjoy nature. When it comes to stress, relieve your stress. I mean, it's amazing. You can't go out into nature and be stressed. You can't continue to be out there. The birds are singing, the sun is
Water's
shining.
flowing.
Exactly. Well, I don't think I got a lot of flowing water here right now. We
You
got
get a
some
lot of
ice and some
frozen water
snow.
there right now.
We got some frozen water. But even still, this morning I went outside just for a few minutes. Yes, it is 0 here today. But I went outside for a few minutes just because I can see these beautiful birds, that we have these 3 red cardinals that, well, it could be 1, but I really think there's 3 of them. They were just sitting out on one of the tree branches, and with all of the snow and the tree branches, you could really see them. And I just had to get out because I could hear them through the window. But just stepping outside I mean, yes, it was cold, but it was refreshing.
Yeah.
And when I came back inside, I felt different.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Totally beautiful. And in Minnesota, we need to do that with it. At 0 degrees, you got to force yourself into that. But it's also as easy as appreciating it. Like, I'm actually in Arizona right now, but I live in Minnesota. And I love it when we have a fresh snow and I'm driving somewhere. I'll just acknowledge how beautiful it is. Like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful it is. We had a recent day just before I left Minnesota that everything was just frozen. Like the trees were all white. Everything was white with this little light dusting of, I don't think it was even snow. I think it was really ice that
I
froze
think it
on
was ice.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so gorgeous.
It
Like
was.
I was going to stop and take a picture. I'm like, no way that my picture ever does that justice.
I know.
It just not doesn't. So we have to take those moments to really drink it in and
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. And I'm gonna bring that to the brave conversation, right? Because there's lots of people in the world that would poo-poo things like that and go, oh, it's no big deal. Oh, hurry up, we got to get there, or we got to do. Reality is we're missing so much. So be brave enough to step out and do it your way. Whatever way that is that feels right to you, be brave enough to step out and do it your way and soak in that nature, that vitamin D from the sun, whatever you need, doing your yoga, take the time for meditation. I remember when I first started meditating and the children were still at home and the dog and my husband, and I'm like, where in the world am I going to meditate and have peace? Well, I did my meditation in the shower. Literally, my husband's like you're taking a half-hour shower. I'm like, I totally am.
That's
And
called
you're
multitasking.
and you're not gonna stop me. I don't know if anybody knows what qigong is, but it's moving the chi energy. And I would stand in the shower and do that. It was beautiful. Water from nature, even though coming into my house, it was lovely. And that was the only way I could get it done. So I just was brave enough to stand up and say, sorry, you guys don't have any hot water. Wait.
You needed a bigger hot water heater. Well, the thing that I think is important to mention too is, we talk about, living healthy list, it's about, and it really is about your personal health, but it's also about your financial wealth. It's about your business wealth. And I know that a lot of times, you work with people in the business world as well. So tie that in a little bit for those people, those business owners out there.
So there used to be a conversation in the world about work-life balance. And anytime you're trying to put something in balance, you're in an argument, if you will. There's a struggle going on. And the reality is you need to be your whole and complete self in your life and in your business. It's one person. You don't have two hearts, you have one, right? There's one soul, there's one of you. and bring all of you to your work and all of you authentically who you are at home, right? And find that way that they mesh together beautifully, right? That's what you want to find, not to try and find a balance where this one's over here and that one's over there. And so I help people to identify their top 5 passions for their life and for their work. And these are 2 separate top 5s. And then we blend them together in a beautiful vision of when all of those are operating at optimal functionality of what I dream and desire them to be, then what is that vision and what's happening? And we write a story of what does that look like? And we're good. We are good storytellers. We can be. Every day we're telling ourselves stories. But this is writing your story, writing your own story of where you want to be, say 10 years from now. And it's easier for us to dream 10 years down the road than think about all the tasks we have to do today or tomorrow. And so we go to the big vision first. And then we work it backwards and we get back to the strategic tasks that need to be done. But by the time we do that, you're so inspired by the vision that these are no longer painful tasks. You're excited to do them. You want to do them. Even the things that, like maybe learning a new piece of technology is not your favorite thing. But when I do, then I can have this Wonder Series and my whole Living Healthy list. And I
There's
love that.
always something new that I'm learning.
Denise has been through my process, and the Living Healthy list had came out of that process. That she was brave enough to start her own business, live the dream that she wrote down on that piece of paper, and it's so awesome. I'm so proud of her every day on what she's accomplished with Living Healthy list. But this is what I help people do: bring their dreams into reality from their heart space. So that's the big picture.
I love it. I love it. And it's true. Like once you know what your true passions are, being that strong, open-minded and a brave person, really it's easy. You're not fighting something. It just really flows. So I would absolutely recommend people to connect with you and, take the passion test, take you up on your offers. I know you have a free offer that I'm going to mention now, and then I'm going to ask you another question afterwards. But tell us a little bit about the.
Yeah, I do. I do what I call a free business acceleration assessment. You don't have to already have a business. We can do this on your life as well. But it's really a free 1 hour coaching session with me where I dive in deep with what's going on for you in your world, in your business, and identify the gaps and where I might have recommendations. And if I think going through the process that is the passion test for business is good for you, I will absolutely make you that offer in that session. However, I'm also the avid networker in the business world, and I know a ton of people all around the world. And so maybe perhaps I find that there's something else that you need that I could hook you up with. We do these sessions at our transformational conferences. Hook me up, yo. Like, what do you need help with? Let's hook each other up. And be a connector of people. So I can hook you up with other people, other experts from Living Healthy list, perhaps, if it's different tools that you need than I have. But I just love meaningful conversations with people, which is why I love interviews like this.
They're fun. Interviews are they're informative, but I think it's important for them to be real too. And
Yeah,
that's one of the things I love about you, LuAnn,
yeah.
is you're a real girl. You're real.
Thanks, Jim. So
I have
anyway, a free, meaningful conversation with me to assess what's going on for you, and if I can connect you with the tools to help you move your life to the next level.
That would be awesome. Definitely take LuAnn up on that, and we will have that link to that on the in the information on the bottom of this interview. I have one more question, and I've been asking this because it's a little different. So when you think of the acronym SOB, I came up with the phrase, the words strong, open-minded, and brave. What other words may come to your mind?
Well, I know the old traditional ones. I'm unsure if that's what you're seeking in this
No, not
moment.
that one. Not those, because I didn't even think of those. Somebody had to point that out to me. I went, oh yeah.
um, um, so success was also on my mind as the S. because defining what is strong to you, right, is up to you to define when you're feeling strong, and you got to own that in yourself, right? And the same as with success. You have to define what success means to you. Success might mean for one person that they're traveling the world speaking to millions of people, stages, with millions of people before them. I'm finding success is really feels good in my heart when I help one person. When I see someone like you, Denise, you know, do what you said you were going to do and create the dream that you had. And wow, that's success to me. So success is a word that would come out of those. And I think open heart. So there's open mind and open heart. You got to be open your heart to the possibilities as well and be open there. We're taught to shut down our emotion and hide it. And the reality is we're meant to open it and share it with other people. And then B would be bold. Similar to brave, be bold. Be you. Be who you are. I can come with a lot of B's. But yeah, be boldly who you are in the world because it feels and we
Thank
should
you.
feel good.
I think it's important, these words are very meaningful. They're very powerful. And truly, that's what I hope that that our audience, that you guys get from this is, the information, the education, the tips and strategies are absolutely wonderful, but it truly is what you do with those things that really matter. And it'll be different for everybody. So I want to thank you, LuAnn, for being here with us, for sharing. It's always great to see you. For those of you who are with us live, actually, you're not going to be live this time. Those of you who are watching us, please leave some comments if you have any comments, if you have any questions in the feed, and we will make sure that we answer those questions. Again, we'll make sure that we have the link for you to get in touch with LuAnn. And with that,
can I add one more quick thing, Denise?
Of course.
Because our conversation today prompted me to think about it. It takes brave women to go on my adventure trips in the Boundary Waters canoe area. And guess what? It is that forest bathing that happens there that's beautiful. And we're just releasing our 2 trips for 2021. So if you are an adventurous woman or you want to be bold and go into nature where you've never gone before, my sister and I guide you through the process of a trip in the Boundary Waters canoe area. So hook up with me through that link for a conversation about that and to get more detail if that is your interest in living your healthy life.
Yep. Those links actually will also be on livinghealthylist.com in the events section. So make sure you go there. Actually, make sure you go to livinghealthylist.com, join our community, sign up for our newsletter where you get lots of great tips and strategies and great information about what's going on in the world when it comes to your health and wellness. So until next Wednesday, LuAnn, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Till next time, healthy living, happy life.
Thank you.